Hello friends, my name is Jaspal Singh and I'm technical architect for HCL Commerce. One of our client wanted to integrate Amazon Connect for their customer support and I started doing a POC for them and I have created a quite small kind of a design which I would like to share with you. It's quite helpful. So let's start with what I did. I'll just log in into my Amazon AWS account and so this is my Amazon AWS account. So what I have tried to do is create an Amazon Connect instance and also try to use Lambda services and Amazon Lex bot to do a complete flow. So let me first start with Amazon Lex. What is Amazon Lex? Amazon Lex is kind of a chatbot, which is chatbot or voice bot, which tries to understand the customer input request and tries to handle the flow based on the user's answers. So I have created one of the Amazon Lex bot that is a training CS bot. Creating a new Amazon Lex bot is quite straightforward. You just click a create button, you select custom. There are a few samples bot which are already present, which gives you a kind of intents and utterances, but I try to create a custom bot. So here you can provide a bot name, let's say test bot, and you can select the output voice
Hello,
Matthew.
my name is Matthew.
Yeah, and then you can give a session timeout. Let's say after some time it will session timeout. The default IAM rows, which are already present for Amazon Lex, and this is kind of a COPA. It's something similar to GDPR. So normally it says that please indicate if your use of this bot is subject to this. If it is subject to this, then you say yes. You need to obtain some kind of a consent, and normally I will go with no, and I'll just create it. So that is it is as simple as that. Just creating a normal bot. So what a normal bot has is it consists of intents, slot types. So intents are basically kind of actions which a particular user wants to perform. So let's say a customer support system which has a kind of a system which says that press 1 for placing order, press 2 for returning an order, press 3 to talk to technical support, press 5 to talk to an agent. So rather than saying or customer doing an input of press 1 for place order, 2 for return order, we use Amazon Lex to handle all these individual intents. So I will create, let's say, place order as one. So I'll create place order as one of the intent. Return order is another one. So that's another intent. So that is kind of an intent which a user wants to do. So I have already created one of those. So I'll just go and show you uh, rather than showing a new test spot. So this is a training CS test spot which I have created. So in this I had created two intents. One was place order and other was return order. So let's go with place order. So this is a scenario where I want to check whether a user is a registered user or not. And if he is a registered user, then I'll find the products and then I'll try to uh, place an order for the user. So this flow is just a POC, so I haven't got end to end, but I'll give you a picture of how it works. So in the place order intent, first, this is a section which is called a sample utterances. Sample utterances is something like what a user can ask for or what a user input can be. So let's say fresh order, buy shoes, or place a new order. So you can enter a number of utterances, and the Amazon Lex bot is smart enough. It uses artificial intelligence to identify that what is the user intent. So these are kind of sample utterances which I have added. I will talk about Lambda initialization later, but then what are slots? Slot is something, let's say a user said that I want to place a new order. So what are the further inputs which we need from the user is something which are mentioned in the slots. So let's say because I want to check whether the user is registered with our account or not. So I ask for what is your phone number, what is your first name, what is your last name. So I will use these data and go into my database and check whether these users are registered or not. If it is registered, then I'll go and place order for them. So this is what in slots are. Then again, fulfillment. Fulfillment is actually a end state, like it talks about, let's say we have successfully completed the place order intent and the fulfillment is like you want to say, let's say you can add a message that, okay, thank you, you have placed an order successfully, or you can invoke a Lambda function. So Lambda function is quite helpful, which I will explain you later. Then I'll just try to show you that what we have to do is straight away you can just build this Lambda function, and when you're building, you can test this bot. Wow, I'm getting a big error. Let me just try to build it again. Okay, this time it was built. So Amazon also has error in their system, but okay, that is for every technology. So then, if you want to actually publish this bot and make a proper instance for public to access, you need to publish it. So we can even test this bot. Let's say I want to say I would like to place new order. Okay, so I'm not sure whether it so I don't know whether it picked. So if I say place fresh order. Okay, so it understood that, okay, one of my utterances was somewhere similar to that, so it understood that, okay, I'm about to place an order. So what it does is it asks for my next input. So these inputs are in sequence. If you see in the slots, we can bring up and down. So if I move up, the first name goes up. If I bring down, if I want to bring phone number up, so my phone number is up. So first it's asking for my phone number. I enter my phone number, something random. Currently, I'm not validating it, so I'm just showing a basic structure. First name is Jaspal. What's your last name? That is Singh. So it went on asking step by step what all inputs is needed. So then, if you see, whenever I do any conversation, it tries to bring out the details. So this detail is kind of, if I just try to pick this details and show you in a notepad. So this is a response which actually comes from the conversation which I am making. So if you see the slots, these contains the first name, last name, phone number. So you can see all the values have been inserted here. And there is kind of intent name is place order. Dialog state is fulfilled. So means that I have reached to the fulfilled state and I have got all the details which were required from this intent. So this is as simple as that. Let's say if you want to go for a return order. So in the return order, I have just created some of the utterances. Uh, and then the slots which I've added is, let's say, I want to know the order which a user wants to return. So I'll just take the order number and then the phone number so that I can validate somewhere in my database or customer support team can use these data to access it. So I'll just say that bot will ask that, hi, how may I can help, how can I help you? So you'll say return item. Okay. And then it says, please provide your order number. Smart enough. Okay, my order number is this. Okay, fair enough. What's your phone number? My phone number is this. Very nice. So it says a thank you will get one of the support team to assist you. Now, why is it saying that? Because in the fulfillment here, I've not mapped to a AWS Lambda function, rather than I mapped to a message, and that message is thank you will get one of your support team to assist you. And this is as simple as that. So it's kind of, rather than user entering anything, user entering 1 2 9, or we are just trying to ask user and trying to understand the user's intent, and based on that we can drive the various flows. So for your business flow, if there are multiple intents, you have to create those intents and handle it. Now if you see the slot type, so you can create your custom slot type, which I haven't created. I have been using the Amazon slot type. So where is this slot type actually used? So when you define a particular parameter, you need to define the kind of a type of that particular slot. So I have used most of the Amazon's parameter, but if you want to create a custom one, you can create those as well. And then these are the text which is kind of coming up here, that when you are requesting what is your phone number, what is your first name, what is your last name. It's as simple as that. So now moving forward, I'll show you what is Lambda function. So Lambda function, I think in a very basic way, I can say that um, you provide a request, it processes that request and pass you back the response. So that Lambda function is just like a function which is independent of everything. It just takes in data, access that, processes that data, and provides you back. So normally when you talk with the Lex bot, they have a particular structure of an intent. Um, let's say there's a request format and there's a response format. If you don't follow that request and response format, the Lambda functions won't work properly with Lex. Now I'll give you an example of, I'll just go to the documentation and I'll show you what Amazon Lex is. If I go to this PDF, so there's a sample format for request and response. I think it's very important to go through the Amazon documentation. They have given a thorough details of how it can be used and implemented, and this is what I followed. I'm not sure where the intent is. Um, Please bear with me. Okay, come on, come on, come on. Response. Yeah, so I went too far. I'm not sure where I am. Okay, there was a sample one I could see. It's quite a big document you have to go through. I'm not sure how can I see the table of contents. Yeah, so if I go here uh, using Lambda function, yeah, so you can see event format. So this is the format. It is kind of a request which is being passed to the Lambda function, and Lambda function can read this JSON object and then parse the data and do the validation, or make they use those data and make a further REST API call to the third party, or straight away hit the database and do all sorts of actions. So this is a whole lot of request, and if I go to the response, I won't go very much in detail with request and response. I think it is very important to understand the very basics. So normally, if you are trying to respond the Lex bot in a dialog format, so you need to give the type of intent. Let's say you say that, okay, close this because all my conversation is done. Or like if you're doing a validation, you just say that, okay, delegate to the next action. Or if you want to kind of validate, let's say user said that my phone number is 0744. So the let box says that, okay, your number is 4744. Can you just validate yes or no? So this is kind of illicit slot. So you can go through these in detail. Session attributes is something which can be driven from start to the end. So it can be like maybe you need some kind of a parameter which is throughout the flow. So you can use those session attributes, and that's how it is. So I'll just go straight forward into my services, and I'll just go to the Lambda function. I have created one Lambda function for a place order. So what it does is, I'll show you. So So it's very straightforward. You go to the functions, you just call create functions, and when you call create functions, it just loads you a particular section rather than I can straight away show you. So if you do this create function, you can use the blueprint. There are many existing ones, and there are serverless app repositories, so you can use any one of them. So let's say my function is XYZ test, let's say, and you can use Node.js, you can use all sorts of languages, Python, Ruby, Java. It's quite compatible, and it's also compatible with different versions of um, Node.js, Java 8, .NET, Python. So if you use Java 8, so it normally says you that you have to import that jar. So there's a way of injecting these Lambda code by Git, which I'm not going in detail, but then as of now, I can just show you a simple like how you can see a Node.js one. So if I just go and create function, it has a handler method. So that handler method is kind of a place where all the calls or all the requests come. So you can handle all the requests and then pass the response back. So I'll show you this XYZ. So this is the code area where actually you code. So this is export.handler. So all the code will come here and you can return the response in the format you want. So I'll just show you an example for what I did for Amazon Lex box. So this is a place order. So I'm using this Lambda function with the Amazon Lex box which I had created for training. Where is that? Okay, I had closed that service, but I'll just open that in a new tab. Um, Amazon Lex bots. This is a training bot. So this is a place order. So I'm using this Lambda initialization over here. So this is a place order which you can see, and I can select the version for that. Currently, I'm just maintaining one single version. So same Lambda function I have been using for fulfillment as well. Now I'll show you how it works. So if you go to this place order, sorry, where is Lambda function? Yeah, that's the Lambda function. Come on, Lambda. And I go to this place order. I have used Node.js. I'm not an expert in it. I'm Java developer. So Node.js is kind of I can read, but I'm not expert in writing this code. Okay, so I'll show you. So let's say when we are trying to do a validation. Validation is like when a user enters the first name, last name. So you want to validate that data. Use some kind of a regex or take those parameters and see that okay, this is the right format. And if you don't like the format, you can just give back user that okay, please repeat, or maybe it's not clear, something like that. So the logic can be written quite clearly. So event in the event object, you get the current intent slots. So I had shown you this. Where was that? Yeah. Mm, where was IBM documentation? Amazon Lex. Yeah. So there was a request format which I was showing you. This is response, and here comes the request format. So this is something which is received by the Lambda function. So if you see this current intent and under that slot details, you have slots, slot name. So that's what I've used in my function. So I've got current event dot current intent slots dot phone number because in my Amazon Lex, I was having the slots value as phone number, first name, and last name. So I'm just checking phone number, first name, and last name. Now, what is invocation source? Now, if you see this Amazon Lex, there are two places from where it is being called. One is from Lambda initialization and validation, and other is from fulfillment. So that invocation source helps us to identify whether it has been called from initialization or fulfillment. So for validation and initialization, it is being called from dialog code hook. So the documentation is quite clear and it explains like what is the invocation source for validation, and if the invocation source is from fulfillment, so it comes as fulfillment code hook. So you can handle it accordingly, even though it's pointing to the same handler. So I haven't done much, but what I've done is like I've just seen that if the phone number is null, then I have called back for validation. So because phone number is null, so I have said that okay, this is a JSON response. I'm passing that okay, it's an illicit slot, means you need to enter this first in order to complete the intent. So reach to the fulfillment. So this call goes, and till the time the user enters all these values, I'm still asking him, okay, please enter, please enter. Now, when all of these details are entered, then you can see if first name, last name, and phone number is not null, then I just say that delegate. Delegate means that do the next action. So the next action is kind of a fulfillment dialog. So fulfillment dialog. So when uh, all of my validation is done for the parameter, it comes to the fulfillment code hook where I just say that okay, close fulfillment done. We can find you in a system. So this is a place where you can actually hit the database or build a complete robust system in order to do your business logic. And here I'm just saying okay, we can find you in a system, and this is a callback which I have formed. This is based on the response format which is accepted by Lexbox. Okay, so it's as simple as that. Now now coming back to Amazon Connect. So Amazon Connect is some kind of a uh, voice call center, you can say, and we will be using Amazon Lex and doing the complete. user journey. So if I go to Amazon Connect, you can, so okay, there's a documentation. Amazon documentation is really good. You can find the complete documentation for Amazon Connect, Amazon Lex, Amazon Lambda in their documentation center. Now, if I open again a service, because I have to go to the Amazon Connect. If you can't find over here, because I'm recently used, so it's coming in the history, but if you want to find Amazon Connect, you can just search it here and it will give you back. So now I'll go to Amazon Connect. So what it is very simple. You just need to create an instance. Let's say I want to create a new instance of Amazon Connect. So it will ask you for a access URL. You can say uh, my first test or my first connect. Okay, my first connect is kind of so this URL will be accessed by most of the agents who will be taking the call, or you can link to an existing directory. Maybe you have a LDAP system or anything, you can connect to that, and that is SAML2 based authentication, which I haven't used because I'm still doing POC. So if I move to the next step, okay, this is already used, my first connect test. Okay, so if I go to the next, you need to enter the username, some password which is not easily hacked. Wow, it doesn't matches. Um, okay, so that's as simple as that. You click next. It says you want to handle incoming calls, outbound calls. You can use for both. Next step. Now, what it does is it stores your data in S3 bucket. It gives you the read and write access to the S3 bucket, and you can customize setting, and you can also uh, put in your different path for chat and scripts where you want to save, and you want to enable contact flow logs. So this is where you can enable or disable. So then you just click the next step, and then you can straight away create instance. I'm not going to create a new instance because I already have an instance. So I'll just go back to my Amazon Connect. So once an instance is created, you'll see something like this. So this is instance I have called training support, and then this is a URL to access it. So if you open this URL, you so all the agents might have so the users which you have created are kind of agents. So all those agents will be having access to this URL, and they will just sign in. Currently, I'm signing as an administrator. So this is the dashboard. I can see all the contents over here, but if a particular agent is there, or you can have a role defined, and based on the role, the user can see the menu. Okay. Now what we do normally here is in the dashboard, if you see, this is where you claim your phone number. So if you go into this phone number, currently I haven't claimed any phone number. Okay, I have. Okay. So you can see this number. If you call this number, you can reach this contact flow. Now I'll explain what the contact flow is. But before that, I'll just try to release this number. Okay. I'll release this number. I don't want this number to use as of now. So first thing when you do is you go to the dashboard. Okay, this is the number. This is a way you can link the number. I'll just try to show you how you can link the number. So there are two types of number. Currently I'm sitting in UK, so I want a customer support for UK. You can either select a toll-free number or a direct number. These both numbers are provided by Amazon itself, and you can select one of the numbers which you like, but I'm selecting a direct dial. I'll select one of the numbers. I'll say next. When you say next, you can test it as well, but I don't want to test. I'll skip it for now. And that's it. So, so you have configured one of your numbers. And as you see, you can see that one of the sample inbound flow is tied. So I'll try to make a call here now. And maybe you can hear I'll put my phone on speaker. 4664188.
Hello, thanks for calling. These are some examples of what the Amazon Connect Virtual Contact Center can enable you to do. Press 1 to be put in queue for an agent. 2 to securely enter content. 3 to hear the results of an AWS Lambda data dip. 4 to set a screen pop for the agent. 5 to roll the dice and simulate A and B testing. Or 6 to set call recording behavior.
Okay, so that's it. I'm cutting the call. I just don't want to use this number because it's not mapped to my contact flow which I have created. So now we'll move forward. So this is how you can dial the number. Then you can set the hours of operation. What is hours of operation? So basically, when a user tries to call a customer support, it's like customer support cannot be available 24/7. So for that, you just create a working hours. So in this working hours, you can say that, okay, I would like to work from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then you save it, and then that hours of operation is available. It's as simple as that. Then you have to create queues. Now, what is queue? Normally, in a particular organization, for a customer support team, there are various sections. Let's say you have a sales team, you have a technical support team, you have a return team. So you want when a user enters some input or he wants to discuss something, you channelize them to a particular queue. So that is a particular queue. Currently, I haven't created multiple queues. I've just created one queue, which is training CS queue. So this queue is it's taking a bit time, but so yeah. So I've just created a training customer support queue. I have given a description. I've said that okay, I want to select the working hours which I had created earlier, and then you can give the caller ID and all name. I haven't given any, and then quick connects. I don't know. I haven't tried this, but yeah. And I just click save. So it has one of the queues. Now if I go back again to the dashboard, so we registered a number, we set the hours of operation, we created queue, create prompts. Prompts is something which I'll explain later. Create contact flows also I'll explain later, and create routing profiles. What is routing profile? So an agent, some agents are capable of handling sales and returns as well, or they are capable of handling sales and technical support as well. So this routing profile helps us to route a particular user who is in queue to those particular agents. So if you go to the routing profile, I've just created one routing profile. Oh wow, I haven't created any routing profile. So I'll just add a new routing profile and I'll say testing CS routing. I'll say it is for, sorry, no, I'll say training customer support routing. This is also training, come on, training customer support routing. Now, in which manner your customer support will handle it's like voice or chat, so I've selected both. Now, in this, you can search for a queue. Currently, we have only one queue, that is a training CS queue, and I have said voice and chat and the priority and delos, and you'll add this queue. Okay. Now, if a particular agent can handle multiple queues, so they have to be in that particular routing profile. So currently I've just created one routing profile and one queue is mapped to it. If you have two routing profiles, if you have a routing profile with two queues, then you need to set priority, and based on the priority, the agent picks up the call. Okay, so what is this? Default outbound call training CSQ. Okay, that was also required. So I just selected that and I said add new profile. Okay, fair enough. So it added this new profile that is called as training CS route routing. Now, if I go to dashboard again, I just want to go step by step. Hence, I'm going back to dashboard again. So we created this number. We set the hours of operation. We created queues. We created um, routing profile, and last is configure user. So this is a user, like you want to add multiple users, you want to add agents and all those users. So currently I just have an admin user, that is myself. If I want to add a user, I can add or upload a CSV. There's a template, you can just use a template and upload that template and all the users with a password, and then they will be able to access trainingsupport.aws.com. And normally when an agent picks up a call, he will be seeing this kind of a screen. They can be available offline and they can pick up a call. Once the call is done, they will cancel it or done, and then again they will be ready for next call. It's as simple as that. Now moving back to, okay, now there were two things which were pending over here. There were prompts and there was contact flows. So I'll go back to my contact flows and I'll show you what contact flow is. So contact flow is actually the main crux of this complete Amazon Connect. It defines that how a user will be directed or how the user will move through. So there are various sample flows which you can have a look, but I just created a new sample new flow which is kind of a training CS contact flow. I'll just open that. Now, when we go to this contact flow, you need to define a name. Then these are the different sections. You just need to drag and drop is and build a flowchart kind of a thing. So interact is kind of, you can see play prompt. This is the prompt which was something which was defined in that dashboard and was required by a admin to get that created. Then customer input. So this is something which either you can take an input from a Lex box or you can enter a speech and based on that it can be managed. Then store customer input, whatever the user has stored, it can be stored. Put the customer on hold. You can go through all of these and then it's quite straightforward. Set working queue. It's like you need to set a working queue before you align a user to a particular working queue. Then contact attributes, I'll talk about it. Then logging behavior, you can log the complete contact flows, and then you have analytics behavior. And going forward, you can set the voice. Then branching helps you to branch that how you want to manage and everything. And integrate is like you can integrate with AWS Lambda. And last is transfer terminal. You can disconnect, you can transfer to queue, phone number, or flow. Okay, so now I'll tell you what I did. So I'll just close this. So if you see the set voice is normally under um, set. You can see set voice. Okay, so this is something which I have picked and dragged it here, and I can set various kind of voices. So I have there are sample voices, Joanna, Matthew, Ivy. So I can select Matthew as well, but I have as of now selected Joanna, and then I'll save. The most important thing in this contact flow is this output. All the outputs for each of the object needs to be closed. Otherwise, you won't be able to publish this. So then after setting a voice, I just straight away went to take the customer input. So in the customer input box, I'll double click and I'll show you. So I'm just entering a text to speech or chat text. I'm saying, hi, thanks for calling training customer support service. How can we help? And then you can either enter DTMF. So DTMF is like a, you can say condition, one for place order, two for return order. But then I have used Amazon Lex, and in Amazon Lex, I can say the Lex bot name. So I selected the training Lex bot, and then in the intent. So these are the intents where I can say place order intent and return order intent, and I just saved it. So you can see that custom intent. Now you remember when the when my Lex bot fulfillment was done, it gave me all the details. That was phone number, first name, last name, and that's what for a place order flow I am trying to extract from this response. So I'm setting the attributes. So in order to set the attribute, I'm just setting the value in the phone number, and I'm getting a value from lex.slots.phone number. And similarly, I have accessing the first name, which you can see over here, lex.slots.first name, and last is lex.slot.last name, first name, last name. Okay. So once I have received all of these details, then I can proceed the further flow to show them products or list out them products and continue the flow. But then I've just ended it here to say that okay, play prompt. We can proceed to place order as we found user in our system, and then I have still more to develop, so I left it over here. Then uh, now return order. Return order was a flow where I took the order number and first name, and then I passed it to the I'll just pause it for a minute. Sorry for the interruption. There was so for place order, there was these three details which were thrown out in the output, and I captured those and set it in a field, key field, and then those I can utilize in the further flow. Now for return order, so if you can see for return order flow, I'm just trying to direct it towards the customer support team. So in return order, first I'm checking the hours of operation. So if the hours of operation is in hours, then I'm just putting it to the queue, that is a training queue. So if you have multiple queues like a sales queue, technical queue, you can handle that accordingly. And for out of hours, I'm just saying that okay, it's out of hours. I'm just I can disconnect the call. Maybe I can do it nicely, but as of now, I'm just disconnecting the call. And if there's an error, still I'm disconnecting the call. Then if you see this set working queue, I'm setting it to the training CS queue. You can see this I have added to the queue and transfer to the queue. This is transfer to the queue. So this is the actually where if it is let's say if the user is any agent is available, then automatically the next person goes and gets transferred into the queue. And once their job is done, they are disconnected and hung up. Then this is the simple flow which I have created, and I'll just save and publish. Okay, so now I have saved and published. Now if I go to this phone numbers where I had registered one of the number, I could see that there was a sample inbound flow, but I don't want the sample inbound flow. Rather than I wanted my flow. So what I'll do is I'll just release this number. Okay. So ideally we should create a contact flow and then claim a number. So then it's quite easy. You can map it. So if I go to United Kingdom and then select one of the numbers, and down below I can select the contact flow. So my contact flow was training CS contact flow. So this is training for Amazon Connect, and then I'll save it. Okay, so that's quite good. One thing I haven't told or I might have missed is like when you go to this training support page where I had created an instance, the application integration and contact flows. In the contact flows, you need to define that this connect can interact with which Lex box, which I had missed out, I think. So, okay, I had already mapped it to a training CS bot. So, if you want to map the Amazon connects, you have to do this as well. This is when you create an instance and under contact flows, you can find it Amazon Lex. Now, moving forward, so now you can see that this number has been tied to training CS contact flow, and you can get this working. Now let's say I want to test it. So I can go to the dashboard. First I'll test a chat and see how that works. So I'll just click here, activate contact center. Okay. Okay, so it says, hello, thanks for contacting us. Oh, wow, wow, wow. This is still pointing to. Okay, hold on. So it failed to connect. Click here for chat. Mm, okay, hold on. I'll just verify what's the issue and then I'll come back. Okay, so I'm resuming this back. So the issue was that there was a test setting which I hadn't set. So in the test setting, I need to select. Hold on, I'll just first cancel this call. I'll reject this call and then I'll close this. And then I'll just. Wow. Okay, I accept and chat. Okay. So now I'll go to this test setting and I will select my contact flow which I had created. So that was training CS contact flow and then apply. Now if I do, so this is the first message. This is an example of how customer. So it says, thank you for calling training customer support team. How can I help? So I'll say place order. Okay, so then it will ask, what's your phone number? I'll say, this is my phone number. What's your first name? Wow, that's just part. What's your last name? I'll say Singh. And it said we can find you in our system and we can proceed to place order as we found user in our system, still more to develop. So this last bit is coming from, I'll show you the contact flows. And if I go to training, and if I go to this, so after taking all the attributes, these all attributes, I've played this prompt, which is we can proceed to place order as we found user in our system, still more to develop. That's what you can see in this last message. And we can find you in our system. This message is coming from uh, Amazon Lex box fulfillment function. Fulfillment is tied to Lambda function, that is place order. So if I go to place order, uh, come on, where is Lambda? So I go to place order, and if I go to place order, and if you see my content, it's saying we can find you in a system. That is for fulfillment hook. So that's how it's all integrated, and there can be much better ways and there can be much better flows. It's just a test flow in order to make you understand how it works. And that's it. I can just make a call, and that's the last bit which I can show you how it works. So I'll just go to this view phone number and I'll try to dial, and I'll keep my phone on speaker. 808-278.
Hi, thanks you for calling Training Customer Support Service. How can we help?
Place order.
Please provide your order number.
Oh, wow, it went to return flow. So order number is 12345.
Please provide your order number.
12345.
Please provide your phone now.
07448331233.
Thank you. That will get one of support team to assist you.
Okay,
Thank
so
you for calling.
okay.
Your call.
So this went to the return intent which I had created in Amazon Lex box. So I think my utterances, it didn't pick it correctly. I think it went to this return flow, and it took my order number and phone number, and at last it just gave you a message that thank you, will get one of the support team to assist you. And then it connected this flow. Where is my contact flows? I think I should keep it open always so that it's easy to switch tabs. So it went to the return flow, and in the return flow, after giving back the message that I'll let you connect to the customer support, it went and pushed me into this queue. Uh, so this is my return order. It pushed me to this check hours of operation, and then it set me to the training CSQ. So yeah, that's it. So now I'll just try to provide the intent a bit more clear. Maybe Lexbox is not understanding my speech. I'll go to place order and I'll just say exact what it is.
Hi, thanks you for calling Training Customer Support Service. How can we help?
Buy shoes.
What is your phone number?
07448331343.
What is your first name?
Dispal
What is your last name?
Singh.
We can find you in our system. We can proceed to place order as we found user in our system. Still more to develop.
Okay, so that's nice. We reached till this part and then we disconnected the call. Yeah, so that's how it has been built. And if you need more info, you can just put comments. That's it for today. Thank you very much, guys. Bye.